This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details. Man.
Homer! Come on! Oh, good. Ooh!
KFAN is my favorite station.
Double doink. Big boy's back!
What in the ham fat is going on with you guys?
The Vikings.
Okay, calm down. Hell no, we're going to go to playoffs next year. I'll tell you that right now.
The Duke is on fire!
You think it's funny?
Oh my God!
You want to change the conversation? Win some games.
Jerk ass! Oh my God! Vikings.
Take care, Polly Wally.
I Rube. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Man, I guess I have been gone quite some time on the vocal maintenance days. The numbers on the clock in the studio, the 651 Carpets Plus studios, are now green. What? I mean, did we paint? I mean, what's happening in this beautiful studio? Good morning.
Good morning. You see the significant, I mean, it's kind of a bow on a turd type of situation here, but you look at this makeover that's taking place in the studio in front of you.
Why is it a bow on a turd?
Well, I mean,
we ain't done.
It's a short term. It's a short term improvement, which is it's cosmetic. It looks delightful in there.
Yeah.
It is not finished.
It's too bright.
You think it's too bright?
Yeah, I think we differ there a little bit. I've heard you say before when we were in the side studio, what used to be the Score 680. The Score 680, copyright Mike Morris, the superstar. Don't leave home without him. Where I prefer a more dimly lit, darker atmosphere.
Yeah,
and the Nords likes it bright.
I do. I need the lights. And you're more candlelit. You're more, I want to bring the sinkhole to the studio.
Yeah.
So you want chill. I don't know if we're able to produce a wood fire burning sensation and aura like you have at your house.
Babies are 9.
Babies are 10.
You got 2 10-year-olds and a toddler.
Right.
You should want the darkness and the dimly lit room and the chill and slapping your bass and slapping it down. I mean, I would think you would want that too.
Well, that is once they all go to bed, I sneak into the basement, turn down the lights, slap that bass.
Stop it.
Nothing but good times.
Stop him. No,
it's coming together in there, though. Still work to do. They had to take the TV down. There was, emails and people paying attention, text line and all of that. And they're like, sometimes PA sounds very distracted while he's doing the show. And it's because you've been watching music videos for nearly 20 years on the TV in front of you. So they've taken that away. Short term. It'll be back soon.
That's so crazy.
But they're putting that whole thing together in there. And it's red and white. iHeartMedia.
Right. And iHeartMedia with, let's say, a handful of juggernauts. One of them is FM 100.3, KFAN. That's the radio station you're listening to now. It's Paul Allen, mad producer by my side, and we begin here.
Hell no, we're going to go to playoffs next year. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you, Nordo, and those in the listening audience, and good morning.
Good morning.
Happy to remember, good Lord, 3-2. Do you, Nordo, and those in the listening audience, and to everybody who has made the conscious decision to listen to 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN, happen to remember when Finchie stopped by at the end of the OKC series, and we discussed the importance of avoiding a stigma. the word stigma. The word stigma, with a definition, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. Now, I and many have used the word stigma several times, multiple times, hundreds of times in our lives.
Yeah.
And until I looked up the actual definition, you know, I know what it is. You know what it is. We all know what it is. And good morning. But the way it starts, a mark of disgrace, stigma, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. So here's the question. Is getting to the Western Conference finals 2 consecutive years and getting handled each year circumstantial in that it's a developing stigma? Close but no cigar. Can't get over the hump. Good sure is the evil of great. Finchy vehemently said that's not the case with the how. And when the leader says that, we all... It's late July. You got a good howl in you right now?
Okay.
Man, damn, that's good. Rob, that's so good.
All right, I'll get back with you at 9:20. I need to recover from that.
All right, so that word stigma.
Yeah. It was a great conversation you had with Finchy, too.
A mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. Finchy vehemently said, "Niet, that ain't us." Stigma. Stigma in the Minnesota Wild. Not winning a playoff series in a decade absolutely is a stigma based on circumstance, quality people involved, and so on. A disgrace would be too strong. Not winning a playoff series in a decade, that's not disgraceful. No. I think that's too strong. But now...
But it's gone from perception to reality, right? With the hockey team where...
Ain't no doubt.
And maybe part of this is, as we talk about stigma, is do you need a certain number of times? It's kind of like, is winning 2 in a row a streak? Or do you need the third one, right? So over the course of a decade, you've had a hockey team, sadly, whether they were, franchise high in points or they were struggling to get in, the results ended up being the same. So stigma goes from a negative perception, sadly, to a negative reality.
So think about it.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Stigma. So disgrace is too strong, but now that the hush and leave money is fully paid and the signing of the superstar is supposed to transpire, that didn't take place while I was gone, did it?
It has not taken place, and it sounds like it's almost kind of on pause. Maybe most recent conversations, they weren't close.
What?
According to some reports, including I've seen some Russo audio being thrown around recently. So it's not done yet.
What? So, all right, the signing of the superstar is supposed to transpire. So fans and Wild executives, and probably the owner, know it's go time. All right? Haven't won a playoff series in a decade. The buyouts or the will you please hush and leave and we're going to give you money? Well, that's transpired. So with this team, getting through some moderate chop and seeking clear skies clearly is the hope and or anticipation or destination for the Minnesota Wild. But when it comes to the word stigma, it is a stigma. It is a realistic stigma that the team has not won a playoff series in a decade. Yeah. And the again, with the definition, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. All right, maybe the quality of the squads obviously has not been good enough to win playoff series. Some of it is circumstantial. And there are a lot of wonderful people involved with this. But nevertheless, moderate chop will be in the rearview mirror one of these days. For the Christmas colors, the stigma bust that has to happen, I say within 2 years max, is to bring and I mean, these are low expectations too, I think, or low-ish, is within 2 years, bring a single playoff series win to the state of hockey.
Faith and goal.
Wow.
You think that's too light, or you think that's too heavy?
I think
just win a series within the next 2 years and bust the stigma.
Well, it's 100% not too heavy. That should be at this stage now, especially as we're starting to enter a post buyout, a post, as you would say, hush and leave situation.
Hush money, though.
That's got to be the minimum expectation. That's the absolute floor, I think. Specifically, if you're Wild fans who have found your way loving, and it's their version of scarves up with the towels at the X, now Grand Casino Arena.
No, you nailed it. It's scars up.
Yeah, it is scars.
It's been scars up.
Sometimes I'm accidentally right. 8 consecutive playoff appearances with a first round L. The minimum should be getting out of the first round. And I think that conversation even starts in 25 and 26. That is the minimum expectation. So
superstar signing, though.
You're putting them in a spot. Get Kirill. I don't know what it takes if you got to sign 6 more Russians to the team, get Tarasenko. You know, it's almost like getting guys on a plane heading down to Kiln, Mississippi at one point in time. I don't know, if we got to head to Moscow or how that works, but they need to figure that out quickly.
Who's on? Hey guys, hey Sicky, everybody else, who's on that white horse traipsing over Yellow Mountain? Is that Mario Lemieux?
I always love that one.
Wow, Mario Lemieux. Who knew? Mario Lemieux. So
the stigma is real with them for sure.
Stigma's real, needs to be busted. You're being a little more terse with it than am I, and I understand where you're coming from. I don't know if it's realistic, but nevertheless, within the 2 years max, just win a playoff series, and bring that series winning positivity to the state of hockey. Now, after that, you win a playoff series. The hush and leave money now is fortified, and you kind of know what you can do after the alleging signing of the superstar. I thought it was going to go bang bang, but I guess it ain't. So you get that thing done, and after that, at least join the chat as a team with at least a puncher's chance to get to the Stanley Cup. All right. The Wild and the word stigma, those records versus Dallas and Vegas, like the last 5 or so years, have to even out or flip. All right, there's some stigma to that. Said Stars and Knights have played the say uncle role too long. And yeah, they're in the conference, so there's some stigma to that too. Ain't breaking any news here or really running anybody down. It's just analyzing core 4 stigmas, developing stigmas, and however one wants to qualify the Minnesota Vikings when discussing said word stigma. For the Vikings, 34 wins the last 3 years. All right. So that's about 11 a clip. About 11 wins a clip with this regime. Head coach named Coach of the Year. General manager and head coach get extensions into the 2025 season. I believe the head coach's extension is like a total of 5 years.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, considered by many the best in the game at his position. When 90-ish% healthy, Christian Darrisaw is a top 5 left tackle in the National Football League. And I might even be that might even be conservative. He could be top 3 when he's hit legit, when he's happy and healthy. Darrisaw's the bomb, and he was getting better game by game before that Trey Blake related L with Darnold's face mask and Darrisaw's knee right in front of halftime. The Minnesota Vikings sack the quarterback and score points on defense. Still, 0-2 in the playoffs through 3 years.
Oh my God.
The first time your defense couldn't find Saquon. Last year, the moving company went broke at the wrong time. So is it too strong to say this regime has a stigma in that they haven't won a playoff game despite winning an average of 11 games a season?
Oh, my God.
Chew on that for a second. Is this potentially a developing stigma for the Minnesota Vikings? Same fishbowl, but under different rocks than like Finchy. Stigma, Finchy, in studio, 651 Carpets Plus Studios. Head coach vehemently denied. No, there ain't no stigma with this. As we ran into this and we ran into this, and we're gonna run it back and push through this stigma and hopefully get to the NBA finals. So with the Minnesota Vikings, the 11 wins a season, but 0-2 in the postseason. It has circumstance to it, but so do other teams who either don't make the postseason or they get there and they can't win. When it comes to the quality of the presentation, well, that plays into it too. Like, I'm going through this before the radio show. Nardo hits me with 2022. The fact that they had a playoff game with the way the defense gave up yards in chunks and at times points en masse, the fact that they had an opportunity to play a playoff game and a high-scoring game that came down to the wire, check down though, it that, how do you analyze that?
Yeah.
Well, the way I analyze it is from a circumstantial standpoint, you have qualified for what everybody in this league wants twice, and you've lost both times. And the most recent one had some embarrassment to it. So when it comes to defining the word stigma, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person, the situation with the Minnesota Vikings is still so fresh and raw because 3 years, 11 wins a clip, 0-2 in the postseason, it still has some relatively new to it. So is it a potential developing stigma? Again, same fishbowl, but just under different rocks than the Minnesota Timberwolves. You see it that way, or you think I'm off base?
I do see. I see the potential for a stigma.
So
now,
if they go to the playoffs this year, lose their first game, they have a postseason stigma.
They would be starting to achieve one. Yes. Now here's where I was putting it up while you were going through that.
Mm-hmm.
The franchise has a stigma. Mm-hmm. The franchise has a massive stigma situation as it pertains to, in particular,
not just the franchise, the core four in the state since the Twins in 91 and the defeatist attitude of, yeah, it's great we're going to the playoffs. Cool, I fell into some tickets. Great, can't wait to get together at Castle du Nord and watch the game and go crazy and have a good time. But we never win. We never win at the highest level here. That's a fan-related, absolute, realistic stigma.
And after 3 decades, that's really been ingrained even in the culture of the average Minnesota sports fan. Mm-hmm. So franchise level, globally, they have a significant stigma of not being able to get over the hump. Another team in the NFL that I would point to, maybe on similar trajectories here, stigma-wise, Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
So now let's drill it down more small or specific to the regime. I think if you're McDermott and the Bills, for instance, I think you've developed a stigma in clutch moments in the postseason, whether it's the tough beat at Arrowhead or you even get the opportunity at home and you can't get over the hump. Bills Mafia crashing tables and starting each other on fire, all that fun involved, I suppose. They would have to say, yeah, there's a stigma that they're trying to battle through.
Yeah.
I still look at it, and again, it goes back to 8 seasons for the Wild, a couple series beats for the Wolves. I look at those two differently. I would look at this differently as well in the regard that in 2022, it was a minor freaking miracle. The culture change, the foundational change that took place with the new regime, it was a minor freaking miracle. We even got to host that game against the Giants in the first place. The defense was putrid all year and really covered for with special moments on the offensive side of the ball. I am, as a Vikings fan, as stigmatized as this thing is at a large level, I'm able to kind of walk past that and just say, I get it.
Yep.
Check down and everything included. Last year's a little bit tougher because in the end, you have Darnold in some ways turning back into a pumpkin, but you're also so impressed with the season he had at large. You got, I think all of us had to have from the, 2-3 picks at Jacksonville. And it's like, oh, here we go. This is, the clock has struck midnight. But then we saw the run that the team goes on afterwards. We're able to kind of wash our hands of it. Mm-hmm. But then in a 2-game stretch, the finale at the Lions and then the playoff game itself, the combination of Darnold losing all crispness, losing all composure and poise that he had showed at so many moments, combined with an offensive line where, bless Cam Robinson, man, but at some point that just wasn't going to work. And the interior of the line was patchwork, it felt like, from start to finish. The
Cam Robinson, though,
that was an awful performance. And specifically in that 2-game stretch, it was awful at Ford Field in the red zone. Guys running open all over the place. Couldn't close on them. You lose the game with everything that was on the line too in primetime. And then you follow it up with what you saw down in Arizona. That would be something where if you start to see that sort of trend, that is absolutely a stigma with this regime.
Okay, well, remember the conversation the day after the Arizona clip where I presented something along the lines of, like after the Jacksonville game, or maybe it was the Tennessee game last year, but I think it was the Jacksonville game. It was where, Darnold tried to throw that game away. And then he tried it again the next week against Tennessee. It was better. It wasn't as bad as Jacksonville, but they found a way to win both games. And he pushed through that malaise, or speak of the word stigma. I mean, there was an underachieving draft bust stigma.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold carried on his broad shoulders from the minute he got here, and he busted through the stigma. But now the day after, they lose that game, and I'm talking about the totality of Darnold's season. Now, the con, a mad producer, Nordo, so perturbed, just like clips in 6 words into it and says, I don't care. None of it matters.
It doesn't matter.
He missed 5 touchdowns, you just said, and you showed them to me on your computer. I don't care. Well, he was, in the biggest moment,
yes,
who they said he was.
He was.
And that's a stigma. And Seattle's about ready to figure the same thing out. It'll be, I could say same fishbowl under different rocks for the 19th time today. It'll be circumstantial. It'll involve different scenarios, potentially different opponents, but he needs to push through a stigma anew.
He does.
Because now you've gone from carrying the weight of the world, carrying the weight of the NFL world on your broad shoulders. The stigma associated with you is everybody says you're a bust. They don't think you're capable of being a requisite starting quarterback in the NFL. And then you get into this system here with these smart coaches and these nice skill guys and the Minnesota Moving Company when it's intact, and you're going lights out. Yeah, he busted through a stigma only to walk into a stigma anew. The stigma anew is...
He got hit twice in less than a year.
Yeah, it's you busted through this whole thing, and we saw the Jacksonville and come on!
Yeah.
And then what's the stigma anew? All right, well, not necessarily the 9-sack game, because there really wasn't much you could do in that game. The one before, the most ballyhooed, popularized, potentially biggest regular season game in the history of the National Football League, and you're involved in it.
Yeah.
And it's standalone.
Biggest game of his career, for sure.
Yeah, and everybody's watching. Football night in America, though. And then when they watch it back or they see the replays, like during the course of the game, they're recognizing, damn, man, Justin, Jalen, Jordan, TJ, they all ran the right routes.
Yeah.
And you just missed them. Most of the time, there was no pressure. That's a stigma. A stigma of now, for him, pushing through big moments like that and not freaking out and getting happy feet and stuff like that.
So does circumstance
now he's gone
keep the stigma off of KO and Kwesi's doorstep? So you talk about Donatel's defense in 2022.
Well, that's a great question right there.
And you mentioned, just an absolute, wow, the meltdown that took place in the red zone in that Kitties game. Does that keep the stigma off of KO's doorstep? Who got this cat to that spot, got those plays in, got those receivers open, and the QB didn't close on him?
Yeah.
Can you keep the stigma away from the coach as he's shaded?
Wow.
From Dobbs.
Dobbs.
There's a reason he was coach of the year. There's a reason there's optimism with J.J. McCarthy in the mix here because we've watched this head coach work with, and he joined this team with a healthy Kirk Cousins in 2022 was something special, what he got out of that offense, and the home run hitter in Dalvin, his final year here, and all of that. But then he had to work through Dobbs and Mullen, and let's just be, the first half with Jaron Hall against the Packers, not my favorite decision that's ever been made.
He's unbelievable. He got pulled at halftime.
He took a guy from the freaking ashes and made him a 4,000-yard passer.
Right.
And the 5 TD game against Kirk's Falcons, the whole thing.
See the 97 Darnold had against San Francisco?
There you go.
Yeah, he did that too.
And he had the cojones, we'll say, to call that play specifically on his own 3-yard line in that moment. So maybe it keeps the stigma off the coach's doorstep, given what he's had to, the chronicles regarding KO through his first 3 seasons.
Well, 2 things here. First and foremost, this one has gone longer than we thought. So,
you know what that makes it?
What's it make it?
It makes it Steve's Appliances Marathon segment. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve's. Steve'sAppliances.com. By the way, Sarah, Brian, everybody at the best appliance store in the state of Minnesota recently have been named Minnesota's best via Reader's Choice, by the way. It's not like the employees or anything is like, Steve spends $30,000 with this magazine a year, so we got to put him. No, that ain't it. It's the readers of this talking about excellent customer service, fast delivery, free recycling, guaranteed low price. So congratulations, Steve's, for a 5th consecutive year. They have been named Minnesota's best by the readers for appliances in this great state. So if you need appliances, go to stevesappliances.com, hit shop deals. That's where we think you will find some elite deals. Marathons 9 to noon are provided by Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. Secondly, as we head to a pause, Vikes Bites around the corner. NFL due Nord after that. Then Nacho Libre in studio about 30 minutes from now. The answer to your question, from my standpoint, it doesn't make me right. It's just my opinion. Is, what was the question again? Is the stigma circumstantial in that defense 2022 not great? Darrisaw down last year.
Darnold, L's.
Right. So
does
how
that
much
keep it off of KO's doorstep?
Well, personally speaking, the answer is no. And here's why. Because to whom much is given, much is expected.
Okay.
So that's cool, man. That obviously from an ownership standpoint, they see it. They see it in a way that, yep, we saw all those. We know we should have won. We recognize personnel upgrades were required after 2022. We've done that.
Yeah.
Bad beat in 2023.
With the Achilles.
Yeah, Chains is going lights out, and then Turf Monster gets him at Lambeau Field, and it's Dobbs, and charge. But nevertheless, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Indeed.
It's your job, Kevin Kwesi et al., to find a way through a developing stigma.
Yeah.
It's... Bursitt says it during the broadcast sometimes. It's like, don't tell me how choppy the waters are. Just get the boat home. And that really encapsulates this part of the conversation. So
it does.
I don't think if they didn't recognize, we got a lot of regular season wins here, and we've had some problems in the postseason. They hated the ending last year so much. 3/5 of the Minnesota moving company is being replaced, and a couple of big name players to man the pass rushing portion of the defensive tackle rotation have been brought in.
Yeah.
That's how you bust a stigma.
And oh, by the way, when it's
you bring in new stigma busters.
Maybe we don't have to throw it 3 times inside the 5 every time anymore. Maybe we can get a little Jordan Mason into the end zone once in a while. And maybe expand the options that the head coach may have in the low red.
Stigma soldiers unite.
Here we go, Paul!
And we battle together into the 2025, courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon includes Vikes Bites around the corner, Nacho Libre at about 10:03. And this is a long winder, by the way. It's not going to take us until tomorrow. But I still have 3.5 pages left I want to share about stigma busting, the Minnesota Vikings, stigma avoidance, and the fact that there just have been and were last year way too many accolades floating around with the Minnesota Vikings to not feel the celebration of a postseason victory. All right? It's Paul Allen Nordo by my side. Once again, thank you, TimberTech. Some Vikes Bites around the corner with day 1 of training camp in the rearview mirror. And you're listening to 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. I think we got some money to give away, too.
Indeed, we do.
Hello, you're on the air.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a chance at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword bonus. You might win like $1,000 just simply by going to KFAN.com and using the keyword bonus.
Thank you, Mousy.
Vikes Bites! Welcome back, 9 to noon. It is Vikes Bites, and it's brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef.
Beefy.
And you can shop online. A box of meat will show up at your doorstep. You can go to your local Coburn's, Co-ops, Kowalski's locations. It's super nutrient dense. You can learn about regenerative agriculture, what that means, because I'm not going to speak very intelligently to it. But Matt and everybody, it's a Clearwater, Minnesota company. They do awesome work. Thank you, Thousand Hills. Thank you to the Minnesota Vikings for kicking off training camp practices yesterday. I'm just going to hit you with this, PA, right out of the gates here. Just kind of looking through some news and notes. I believe you were on site. I was not. But I'm just kind of looking around, looking for updates. Alec Lewis, we're back. He's at Jersey Mike's, whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Rippon threw a pick 6.
That's what I hear.
Sam Howell threw a pick 6. You know who didn't throw a pick 6? Max Brosmer.
I thought you were going to say, he's JJ.
Well,
yes. FICA, Fairness in Camp Act. I was not at training camp yesterday. When the announcer has the triple duty with KFAN, practice and racetrack announcing, they're kind enough to let me go to the walkthrough so I can memorize what? Numbers, and body types. So we were memorizing like Dante Fleming.
Yeah.
We were memorizing numbers and body types for the preseason, but I was following it from afar very, very closely.
So we will get to the quarterback. As a matter of fact, at 11 a.m., he spoke to the media yesterday. I got some camp cuts for you and some talkers based off of that. So we're going to shoot from the lip on specifically McCarthy around 11 a.m.
Really? There are like 7 press conferences from last week that we could replay all of them over the course of the final hour.
I always love that one.
Ruin Abbott's vacation up north, and I can leave early.
I always love that one.
So Max Brosmer,
Hey.
only of the backups, I should say, to not throw a pick 6. Maybe he's QB2. Who knows? It's early camp fodder. I did want to hit you with this, though, in particular.
Yeah, Brosmer ain't going to be QB2.
No, he's not. I saw multiple people on site for yesterday's practice specifically noting how different TJ Hawkinson looked.
See?
So my question is, because there's perception there.
Yeah.
Where the assumption is coming off the knee injury last year, he gets back into the mix. It takes additional time for him to truly get up to speed, health-wise, comfort level on the field, cutting on that knee. But now that he's had this entire offseason, the idea would be, well, now he's back. He's back. TJ's back. So is that perception based on the assumption he should be healthier and better, or based whether it's off-season workouts and just kind of seeing him in person, running his routes? It was almost universally sized up yesterday that TJ was really maybe the A topic out of the first practice, how fresh that number 87 looked.
What's a Karen again?
Just somebody that kind of needlessly complains and
Okay.
a little anal retentive in various aspects.
2025, July, year of our Lord 2025.
Yeah.
Is it something that would get the quote Karens end quote up in arms? Speaking of arms, if I say, and I kind of shared this over the last several weeks after minicamp and OTAs about TJ Hawkinson and the reconstruction not only of the dream but of his body. Would the Karens freak out if I say he has jailhouse yolks?
I always love that
His
one.
jailhouse yolks? Or wait, is that what it is? Jailhouse yolks? Or no, jailhouse.
Is he jailhouse yoked?
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, it's.
So he's looking pumped up.
Well, the arms are unbelievable. I can't stop staring at them.
So his arms look like Daniil Hunter's in 2016. The kid QB's grown an inch in the offseason. I mean, this team's going through changes.
I had a Vikes bite for you that I forgot to put in the set list email, and I'm gonna try to put my phone right up next to this microphone right now. And it ain't going to be great. So if you're interested, you can find it via the Canterbury YouTube channel. I think it was like race 3. Yeah, my phone sucks, but listen. Ready?
Yeah.
As Van Ginkel splashes away into the bottle furlong. After that, dark storm far out of it, but they all have been left in the wake of a keen turn of speed, displayed by Van Ginkel, who sacked the competition.
We had a horse win last night named Van Ginkel.
How about that?
Oh, pretty sweet.
How sloppy was it yesterday with the rain, L?
Well, it was sloppier than those 5 years I spent on the streets of San Francisco by O'Farrell in the Tenderloin, and we'll just end it at that.
That says everything you need to know. Vikes Bites!
Yeah, what am I speaking Tagalog up in this thing?
Oh, what is that? Subscribe notes as we put a wrap on Vikes Bites here. This is per Alec Lewis. Others reported on as well. But Ty Felton, the rookie third-rounder PA, he was handling both kicks and punts yesterday and some return work.
Yes.
Others were in the mix as well, but specifically looking at Ty Felton, who did so at Maryland, doing it yesterday. A little bit of land of opportunity with the return game, both on the kick and punt side of things, right?
Yes, and I brought that up yesterday with the general manager, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. And, we brought up something you and I know, as quick twitch second nature. The last punt return touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings took place 10 years ago. It was 2016, first year of the palatial purple paradise.
Marcus Sherrills from 59, Houston Texans. Fun game.
That's a stigma.
That's a stigma. It is.
That's a stigma. We have a punt returning stigma up in this thing. Where got to bust through it and get to the end zone. I don't know, maybe once. But if you don't get to the end zone, at least have some popability to it. And then that segued into the land of opportunity, the land of 10,000 jobs to be had, which would include a fair amount on special teams, which would then lead to, all right, well, this guy, he's kind of on the bubble here, but he's really good at this and really good at that on special teams, so he's going to make the team.
Yeah.
Ty Felton's not that guy. So he'll get a crack at it. I've looked at Ty Felton's work at Maryland returning punts. Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do.
Okay.
In my estimation, to take the next step against the pros. I mean, against the amateurs, that was one thing, but obviously you got a different situation here. And then you got, I think he's number 2, Isaiah Rodgers. Then you got the former Philly and Colts corner. Returning kicks.
Yep.
So
I think Rondale Moore was doing some of that too yesterday.
Rondale Moore's fast, man. I mean, I knew when Zimmer came with the zero, as they say in the business, and Kyler threw the punt, and there was nobody there, and Rondale Moore caught it.
Yeah.
Somebody had an angle on him, and it's like,
no chance.
Talk about being left in the wake of a keen turn of speed. Holy cow. He's fast. He's twitchy. He's fast. So, yes, the opportunities are there. I don't have anybody to make favored at this portion of the equation or this stage of the race, but eventually we will. The con.
Last bite for you. Thank you, Thousand Hills. Again, scribe notes. I saw Mark Craig from the Star Tribune. He noted, as he kind of wrote up his thoughts on the first practice, that the first team CBs yesterday, corners, Byron Murphy, Isaiah Rodgers, and Jeff Okudah.
Yeah.
That Mekhi Blackman was playing off that ACL, of course. He was playing with the second team. But I thought he offered a bit of praise, noting the favored trio did look, there were some positive moments for that particular group yesterday. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, Jeff Okudah, again, kind of redemption tour for him, and who knows ultimately what that growth arc looks like in 2025, but he was part of the first team 3. That's subject to change, practice to practice, but...
Where's the bid?
What do you mean, where's the bid?
Free agency never fails on the Quasi train.
I think it's...
Wrong one.
Hey!
Show us, please.
He's so big.
What you can do, Jeff Okudah.
I mean, I was chatting with Dave Corus, the head of Viking security, yesterday during the walkthrough, and looking out at 21.
You told him to be on the lookout for me is what you did.
That pass you supposedly were going to get yesterday, that ain't going to happen. Because it may end up taking my spot. I'm just kidding. We're chatting about some unfinished family business, and then it was during walkthrough, so I mean, everything's half speed. But looking at 21, looking at Jeff Okudah, I'm not going to say I got sad, but I was like, man, what a shame. I mean, wait till you see him. I mean, it's wait till you see him in full garb, full armor. He's big. Yeah. He's thick. And you could just, I'm going to bring it up with Nacho, man. You can just tell when healthy and happy, Jeff Okudah will bust your butt at the line of scrimmage. Yeah. He's super strong.
And we were on the receiving end of that, right? With JJ, I mean, what was that, year 2?
Yep.
Specifically where, and Justin, excuse me, not JJ, but Jets / Justin Jefferson. Still got to work my way through that.
Yeah.
But the thing with Okudah was that sparked a conversation where could you negate some of Jefferson's brilliance off the line just by beating the heck out of him?
2-week thing.
And clearly, I mean...
Oh, it was a 2-week thing. Darius Slay started it, Jeff Okudah finished it, and then they started tripling him.
Yeah, and then, 5 seasons into it, historic records and various statistical accomplishments and things, and Justin Jefferson had a right to a say in the conversation too. But Okudah's physicality, man, and if that allows, kind of getting back to Flores' defense and how much maybe press and man that he would like to play, if Okudah can figure that out, man, what an unbelievable pickup for the Vikings.
Where's 21? The number 1 in your heart. Who is he?
What you can do, Jeff Okudah.
What you can do, Jeff Okudah.
And that's Vikes Bites, brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Graze Grass-Fed Beef.
NFL due Nord around the corner. I don't know what's included, but it may be Russell this.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a lot of New York-related quarterback news that is popping right now.
Sad news for Jets fans.
And potentially good news for Giants fans, but we'll see. You're listening to 9 to Noon on your home for everything funky, fun, and the National Football League, at least as we go here at FM 100.3, KFAN, back in a flash.
Van.
News du Nord, NFL style here to finish up the 9 o'clock hour. Ben Lieber's going to be in studio next. Excited to catch up with Nacho and continue Vikings training camp conversation. Now, this first bit of news, I even said before the break, it was a tease in the business. Man, Jets fans, sad news. Well, I was going off of about an hour ago. Adam Schefter reports on X that Jets quarterback Justin Fields was carted to the locker room with an apparent lower leg injury. So now that's going through everything. Adam Scheffler, I almost got duped, said it was like an Achilles and weeping and gnashing of teeth. It was super negative. That's not the case. And in fact, the lower leg injury turned out to be okay per head coach Aaron Glenn, as Justin Fields has a toe. Just a toe.
They got a toe.
So it's relief, even during the course of that break with the toe. But I do want to hit you with this before we pause. So good for Justin Fields, good for the Jets. They're not sad, at least today. They have to actually watch the regular season games. That's when the sadness usually sinks in for Jets fans.
Honey?
The Titans are signing outside linebacker Jihad Ward. This is according to Jordan Schultz. I bring up Jihad Ward because while you were gone, Brett Blakemore hit me with an NFC North nibble that maybe Jihad had been coming to Minnesota, whether it was for a workout or a meeting. He's trying to find work. But he's an intriguing character, PA, because we kind of watched the interesting way that he lived out the 2024 season where He didn't have tackles, but he had like a ton of quarterback hits. He was third on the team in quarterback hits last year behind Grenard and Van Ginkel. So it was the classic, so close but no cigar.
Yeah.
Ends up with 10 tackles, the 14 hits I mentioned, and a sack. I think he had a fumble recovery as well. But Jihad Ward, in the limited snaps that he played, actually was quite productive in moments and pressuring the QBs and just, again, not getting there in totality. But he's found a job, PA. Maybe in a spot where he'd have trouble getting on the field if we expect more out of Gabriel Murphy, the undrafted cat. Certainly expecting more out of last year's first-round pick in Dallas Turner. Ward's finding his way to the Tennessee Titans.
You can call him Ward. You can call him Jihad Ward. His nickname around the locker room or on the sideline was Hottie.
Yeah.
All the coaches and players called him Hottie. Every time I heard that, I was like, Hottie, Hottie, he likes to party.
I always love that
trouble
one.
If it don't bother nobody.
And he ain't gonna bother nobody. Best of luck to Jihad Ward.
Yeah. What is Matt Daniels' nickname for Ty Felton going to be?
Ooh, that's a great. So we have Sir Poe, the All-Pro long snapper. We have Mr. Wright, and I don't think we had. Oh, was it Thrill or Will the Thrill or something?
Will Stryker.
Will Stryker. That's what it was. Will Stryker. Thank you. What was Greg Joseph? Money?
Yeah. G Money?
G Money.
Yeah.
I always love that one.
That's awesome. What's it going to be for Ty Felton?
I know. I for some reason, I was thinking he'd just call him like Ty Bo or something, or Ty Fro if he grew his hair out.
If he makes the team, that means he has stuck. So they can call him Ty Sticks.
I always love that one.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Some old schoolers might understand in sticky fashion what I'm talking about.
That's a truncated edition. I got some more for you. Maybe I'll just clomp my way into your conversation with Lieber and throw a couple more for you. Lots of things, of course, happening in the NFL. But that's all I got for you for this shorty here as we get ready for Lieber next segment.
Nacho Lieber. Ben Lieber joins 9 to noon each and every Thursday. One of the analysts for the vast and ever-expanding Minnesota Vikings radio network. He'll be with us a few minutes from now, and there we will chat more about the Vikings and stigmas and NFL Du Nord on your home for NFL Du Nord. FM 100.3 KFAN. It's your audio leader for everything funky and fun.